All right, guys, let's continue on with this roof repair. Now you guys can see I'm gonna go ahead and finish out this with the same way as I did the middle section using a lap, and then I'm just gonna convert that into a butt. And it's kind of easy to do. It's easy for if you're gonna do this, you also could use this on your corners, stuff like that. If you're trying to put a corner on, you put it on and you think, oh wow, I lapped it, but it's got a little too much gap. I don't want to put that much filler on. All I gotta do is just, cut it at the edge and then just convert it into a butt weld. It's actually a very easy way to do a butt weld. Some guys, they try and fit the whole thing all the way across, and it just takes a little more time to do. So I don't like to do it that way either. But this seems like this might be the easiest way to repair. I mean, I could just lap pieces on there. It'd be fine. But I'm going to do it this way just for fun and just continue what I've done there. Just go across here, do around here. And on the sides, it's a little easier to have the butt, a little easier to finish. So, but, I just want you guys to know first, again, if you didn't watch the other video, there is no wrong way to do it. It's just preference. I was watching another guy's channel on lap welding. If you're welding on a newer car, if you're working on like a newer car, most of those are 22 gauge. And honestly, I would only lap weld a 22 gauge panel. I would not use a butt because it's just, the metal's just already too thin. And sometimes you have voids in your weld on the other side that you can't see. If you didn't have, I get good penetration, but even I have some places where there's a little bit of void there and you can't see it. And so you don't really know that it's thin. And, especially when you're grinding it all down super smooth, which I'm not going to do. And I was looking at this guy's Lakeside Auto Body has a YouTube channel, and I think he's pretty right on with. In fact, he does stuff mostly the way that I do it. So I'm like going, oh, okay. So I'm not the only person who does it that way. But he does it very similar to what I do on my typical welding, where I'm doing a lap on parts of it and a butt on parts of it, just to make it stronger. And especially when you're dealing with 22 gauge, and it's really important. But this 20 gauge is kind of, if it's 16 or 18 gauge, I'm probably going to butt it. But when it's 20, it's kind of like, well, it's right on the edge of strength, versus aesthetics. I'd rather have strength some places, aesthetics some others. You just got to make those decisions as you go. All right, so we'll keep moving forward, keep checking this out. So I got this ugliness right here to fix. Let's see if we can take this piece and shape that sucker. So probably what I'll do is do the same method as I did before on some of these other things, but I'll just weld this portion of it in place, the upper portion, once I let this dry and paint inside of here. What that was, I just sprayed in there was Osfo. I'll show you. The reason I get this stuff, I saw this E-Man Deluxe was using it. I thought, you know, that'd be great because it's very similar to something called Rust Mort by SEM. SEM company, and that's probably the first experience I've ever had with some sort of rust stuff that stops rust is SEM's Rust Mort, and that stuff works really good. The only thing I don't like about it or this is that it remains sticky for a long time, and if you try and prime over that, sometimes it's a little funky. So I prefer this one, this rust converter. But it's nice to have this for stuff when I can't get in there with a brush, or, you know, maybe I wouldn't be able to, I can put that in a spray, you know, in the spray gun kind of, and spray it, but it's really kind of nasty. You better have a respirator on, and, you know, it just lingers in the air. It's pretty awful. So same thing with this, but using the spray bottle, it works fine, works pretty good. You can use that. You can use a mustard bottle. If you go to like Smart and Final, you can buy a mustard bottle and put some of this in there and squirt it places, and it'll kind of run down into corners and stay there and, you know, knock the rust out for a long time. Keep it dead. You know, how long is it going to last? I don't know. At least you're doing something, you know. I mean, it's probably lasts for years without even coating over it. But I'd prefer, I know once you do this and then you coat over it, it lasts a long time. And as long as it's no weather can get to that area, you know, and if it's kept, even if you just sprayed this on there and you didn't paint it, it probably, and you kept the car inside, it probably lasts past your lifetime and then some. So it does work, and it is a good thing to use. So it's an option. I'm just telling you about it. It's Osfo. They had that stuff a little cheaper on Amazon, and it's a lot cheaper than SEM's Rust Mort. That's why, otherwise I would use the SEM, because I'm used to using that. And it's an automotive product. And of course, whenever it's automotive, they just double the price. So that's about $15 a quart. It was years ago. I think last time I bought it, and that was 30 years ago. So it's probably $100 a quart now. Who knows? I don't know. I haven't bought SEM's product in a long time. So anyway, well, let's move on. I think I let this dry overnight. I'll see what else we can do. That nasty stuff there. Yuck. Well guys, I guess that's about it. I've really got to clean out this garage. I know somebody said, oh, you're living in a pig pen and this and whatever. I don't know. I already know that, okay? I don't need somebody to tell me that, but the reason I haven't done it is every time I go to clean it, I gotta pull this thing out of the garage. Well, right now it's because I'm trying to keep up with videos. I'm behind, so I can't get everything, you know, either I don't put up a video and I clean the garage out, so it's kind of, you know, I don't know. So, but like before that, it was just because the wind was blowing like crazy, and then my car went to crap. You know, every time I start to go to clean the garage out, go to pull it out, and there's a weather issue or something. Had massive 80-mile-an-hour winds one day. I had a lot of different times when I was ready to do the clean out. Now I'm kind of over ready, but I don't have a lot of time to work on this thing. So it's like, well, do I make a video or stop and take a couple weeks off and clean out the garage and all that? So that's because I'm so far behind on all my other stuff. My other repairs on the other cars, still working on that one. Yeah, see, this is where I'm at. Working on that oil pump issue on this thing. And I don't know, I don't really want to go out and do the whole thing, and I got to take the timing belt off, and not take the timing belt off, but I got to take the timing covers off, and then to do the balance shaft, just to put it back together and see if it's any good. You know, I've got to do that, and I've temporarily, you know, put a shaft in there, and a little bit longer shaft, and so it'll work the oil pump for temporarily, just to make sure the motor's not shot before I go and spend a whole bunch of money and time on something that isn't even worth fixing. That stuff's so intricate on that car. It's a whole day's work just to do that, just to work on that thing. So I figured I'll do a little bit of cut up and some more patches on this thing. I really need to blow everything out of there and clean it really good, to the wire brush in there, and then treat everything and just let it set for a day or so. So I'll probably get on that here tomorrow, just for a little bit. Then I got work, I got night work, I got issues with that, you know. So anyway, it's kind of crappy right now. Hard to get videos out, hard to get stuff done on this thing. Plus, you know, when the weather's bad, I can, you know, shut the door and work in here, but even when it's messy, it's really a drag. You know, it's much easier when it's clean and you get it all cleaned out again. But I just know that so I was like, I'll just do some stripping right now, because I really want to just strip that roof first and then make that huge dust storm that I'm going to make from that. It'll be kind of a little bit less messy from there, you know. I mean, when I go to sand it, it's not going to be fun either. That's going to be dust everywhere. So that's the way it works. And I get my shop all cleaned out, then my cars go back in here. It's kind of how it works. So when I'm doing a big project like this, it's a mess. All right, I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Please like, share, and subscribe. See what you guys have to say. Talk to you next one.